We've all heard of the 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. But when going through divorce, I got to call bullshit here because we try to fit these 5 stages and try to rationalize them when there's nothing rational about how and why we're feeling this way. We're trying to fit a square peg where it does not belong. And that's because the Kubler-Ross model, otherwise known as the 5 stages of grief, it was developed for the terminally ill as they go from denial to acceptance, knowing fully well that they're going to be dying. But it's beautiful. It's peace, and it just makes sense. But divorces, they're sloppy, backstabbing. I'm right, you're wrong. I want to strangle the person I used to love and take his children and money away because he destroyed my life kind of thing. It's chaotic, confusing, and an out-of-body experience. Divorce is a prostate exam and a wisdom tooth extraction done together by the same time at the same person. There's no 5 stages of grief here. You're going through much, much more than that, from the self-pity phase to the you pity her phase and back to the does she want me back phase? Divorce is the gift that keeps on taking, and you need someone to help you organize your thoughts. You, son, you need a divorce coach. As I study divorcing men, there's 2 emotions that just stand out because this is where you're at your worst as we face the shame and the self-doubt of denial and guilt. And why do these emotions stand out? Let's discuss. And let's start revving that engine. Hey everyone, my name is Rene Garcia, and I'm a divorce coach for men. According to social psychologists, divorce is the 3rd most stressful event that an adult can undergo, even more than when they're facing their own death. So it's no wonder we're all fucked up inside when going through it. That's why it's so hard to accept, and for many men, denial, it's often divided into 2 parts. The first part being the arrogant portion, followed immediately by the powerless version. The first part, you could consider it the "there's no way she'll leave me" phase. Because we've been programmed as men that women won't. Today, women in their 30s, they tend to have more entanglements than men do. An important but little known fact is that 70 to 90% of women initiate the divorce. And this lack of knowledge can be costly because our asses as men, we don't believe it. Even when I was preparing to become a divorce coach, I read the data. I still didn't believe it. I studied the data and then asked around, and that's when I was finally convinced. So when our wife tells us that they're leaving us, simple. We think they're being hormonal, call their bluff, and usually respond with some motherfucking hubris. You want out? Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. To us, despite our arrogance, we just never thought that shit would happen to us. So we're left in disbelief when she makes it painfully clear that indeed she is leaving us. You and your wife, you two, you were standing eyeball to eyeball. And you, my friend, you just blinked. Many of us, we never bothered to see the warning signs. And I get a lot of men saying that the divorce came out of nowhere. But I got a question. How often you were really communicating with your spouse? Because there had to. There just had to. There had to be some kind of signal being sent here. Even if you were having sex the night before she decided to leave, there had to be some kind of distancing. And that my own data shows that women start thinking about divorce 2 years before they actually tell their spouse. So you're done with the "she'll never leave me" phase. We backpedal to the second part of the denial phase. What the fuck did I do phase? And we plead and we plead and we beg for forgiveness only to see that they're really done, that they are leaving us. And we're left with the guilt that because we should have been better. We should have seen the signs of detachment, and we should have been nicer, much nicer when they threatened to leave us. But here's my point in all this. You may regret your initial phase. Perhaps you could have been more kind, but the die was already cast, man. She had made up her mind a while ago and just didn't know how to tell you. The only difference is that now you gave her a reason to and made it easy for her to leave, but she had it all planned out. You just didn't know that. And this is very common. This happens a lot. It happened to me. My ex, she started a fight and she knew what she was doing. And when I told her to get the fuck out, within 30 minutes, my ass went to puckering up and went to the "what the fuck did I do" face and started kissing her ass. Don't leave. This is just a slump that we're in. We could pull through this. Let's work this out. I would say shit like that, but my ex, she didn't give a crap. She justified what I said earlier. But my ex, although she had the IQ of the silicone implanted in her breast, she had planned this out. A week after she left, come to find out that she had been planning it with some yahoo she was with. And this is just one example of many. So guys, just don't torment yourself when this happens. That's when the second emotion comes in, and as we're left with a crap load of regret leading to guilt, the "I can't believe I let her go" phase. And this phase is a motherfucker because it puts all the onus on us. The guilt phase is further complicated because we not only feel guilty about how we treated her, but because we still feel accountable for her. So it's also the accountability phase, and everything's going to trigger you. So many unfinished stories and projects that you were working on that you'll never be able to share with her as to how they turned out. That massive program at work that you were in charge of and just finished. She'll never know that you celebrated it with your colleagues and the office with champagne. You go for a vacation and thank your ex. She should be there. Or even if you go to a new restaurant and are enjoying it, she should be there. She should fucking be here. So when I have a client contact me during their how could I let her go phase, my ass is well aware that they're coming to me more for counseling than they're coming to me for coaching. But I'm not a counselor. I'm a coach. And the difference is that I'm not going to ask what she did to you or what happened to you. I'm going to look right at you and see where you're at today and let you know what you need to do and how to do it so that you move forward. Because after working with and interviewing over 1,000 guys, when it comes to what you need to do, I have something that you need. I have the clairvoyance of a predictable outcome. I'm also well aware that these guys will try to accuse their ex's actions, even if she did leave them for various entanglements. The thing of it is that these guys are at their weakest moment, and I got to get them the fuck out of it. So I engage them differently than I do my other guys. My job is to get them to the pissed off phase. And there's different ways to do this. The point is that I got to get them to realize that they're better who they think they are right now. Their weakness, it's only a temporary thing. If you've ever had a one-on-one with me, you'll know that I try to get to know you and not the married you. Certainly not what she did to you. But because I'm here to help you move forward, I need to get to know you as an individual. Here's an actual video of what I usually tell the guys during an initial coaching session. My goal here is to find out more about you, your situation, what's happening, and find some solution where you're going to inevitably, every guy, we want to talk about what she did to us, where we're at, why we're hurting, and so forth. And that's reasonable. But within the short time period that we have, I'm here to make sure that you leave this meeting with some kind of a solution or action items to get you going. Is that reasonable? But when you're in either the denial or the guilt phase, it's my professional obligation to get your ass centered. So I change tactics here to move you the fuck forward and get you to the I'm better than this phase. The angry phase, because the angry phase, at least for those that I coach, is where you start making some progress here. And I'll tell you this guilt of yours, at least with 90% of the guys that I work with, it's all unsubstantiated. It's usually your ex spinning the narrative to make you feel like shit. Think about it. Her job is to not feel bad about leaving your ass. It never is. And worse, if she's a narcissist, her job is to cover her ass because narcissists, they may not feel remorse, but they certainly feel shame. When I hear women address their entanglements with their paramours, when I hear their narrative, it's just fucked up because somehow women got it instilled in their head that cheating for them, it's a symptom of a bad relationship rather than what it really is. Poor character. Point is that she'll never apologize. They're either too chicken shit to do it, or the most likely answer is that they're too mentally incompetent to address that they did you wrong. My ex, she excused what she did, her financial and her physical cheating, by saying that she was a strong woman. Tell that to her 15-year-old daughter. Gentlemen, if you're going through a divorce or breakup, join what's become the fastest men's divorce support group on Facebook. It's free and it's confidential. And if you're looking to see what a divorce coach can do for you, schedule a one-on-one with me today. The link is both in the comment section underneath or click right here because as a coach, here's what I do. Here's my specialty, my forte. You and I will customize a plan to help in your recovery and help you get ahead of your current problems, including that broken heart of yours. I'll help you find them balls because they've been clipped, and when you get them back, they're so sweet. Now, I'm not an attorney, but I've worked with dozens of them, and I'll provide you with something that, if you haven't noticed, attorneys lack. A customized strategic plan, and it pays dividends because it will save you money in the end. And I'll help you bounce back so tall that little wife of yours, she will rue the day that she gave up on you. I'll take you from A to Z. So make a one-on-one today. Thank you very much. I'ma wake up, do damage. Join them 7 boredom. Working all night.